Another innovative way the country started attracting some positive investor interest was through its unique handcrafts.
Basket weaving, which is a traditional handicraft skill for which Rwanda has been known for hundreds of years. It's not a skill, and the products, the baskets themselves, are not that well known outside Rwanda, but they've been used as dowry gifts, as utilitarian vessels for holding things traditionally in Rwanda, but made to a very high standard with very intricate designs. So there are now firms in Rwanda that are selling those baskets to stores that have international reach.
Handcraft is a special sector because it's mainly rural-based, and it's providing off-farm activities. It's something Rwandans know are best at doing. So focusing on it and adding value on it and increasing or guaranteeing market access is very important.
You may have seen some of these piece baskets on the Oprah Winfrey Show, on display in Macy's department stores, or in the Marie Claire magazine. But when Joy Ndungutse and her sister Janet started HandCrafts in 2003, they didn't know that pretty soon they'd be exporting over 50,000 baskets to the US and employing around 3,000 women through their cooperative structured basket weaving company.
We started with a few women, and when African Growth came in Act, we wanted really to target that market because, you know, we are a landlocked country, and we felt if we can export to US without paying taxes, then our products can be able to compete in the market. So we did exhibit in the US. I lived in the US for 15 years, so that's why I thought we would do better. I knew a little the culture of the American people, and I thought I would do better in the US, in a country which I lived in and which I understood very well. So what we did was, we tried in different places, but eventually my partner and also my sister Janet went to US and exhibited in one of the gift shows in New York, and that's where we met Macy's. And the reason why Macy's chose our product, it's because we didn't want people to buy the products because of the story. We wanted to buy the products because they're beautiful and they can be used in their homes, and that's when Macy's saw the product and liked it.
The idea was to help women who were widowed and left vulnerable after the 1994 genocide to generate their own income. As the demand for these baskets grow, the company is working with government to improve capacity.
Rwanda is a landlocked country, and when we export our goods, they reach in Europe when they are a bit expensive than Mombasa, than Mauritius. Another challenge is the high interest rates in the banks. It's a big problem to get a loan with that kind of interest rate. And also we are working with the women, most of them who didn't go to school. It's hard for them to access the money from the bank. So that becomes a big problem too. But, and then on the capacity building, you know, sometimes it's hard to raise money to do the capacity building, except now the government has come in and is helping in capacity building. That has really helped us, and it has raised the production.
HandCrafts has taken advantage of some of the reforms for women which came about just a decade ago, which allow women to own land and which aim to aid and promote women entrepreneurs. Today, around 41% of businesses are run by women. But this is no surprise, as Rwanda's parliament has the highest percentage of women in the world.
For us here in Rwanda, there has been a deliberate intention to encourage and to facilitate women to take responsibility in all sectors of society, including political and economic responsibility. And the fruits are showing, because when it comes to planning for the country, and if you're talking about democracy, it means you have to bring everybody on board. So the woman's voice and views, whether we like it or not, will complement better a man's voice than probably having only men.
But it's really Rwanda's agricultural sector that remains the country's chief focus point for development and innovation. Most Rwandese live in rural areas and depend on subsistence farming for their livelihood. But that doesn't mean that they have to stick to traditional crop production. Meet Raj Radhanathan. He's managing director of Rwanda's only vertically integrated textile company, Utexra. After experiencing severe human and financial losses during the genocide, the company was about to close up shop in 1994.
We had a huge business just before the war and genocide in this country. In 1903, this company had a sales turnover of $20 million. But immediately after the war and genocide, because various factors affected our working, we came down from $20 million to $3.5 million turnover. And the company was heavily losing, and since we had the social obligation of helping the people and retaining the people of the employees of this company, we continued to be in losses for more than 5-6 years. Then now we found that by redesigning our products, redesigning our operations, we can be in profitability. So with that profit we flowed back and we retained the employment, and now we find that with the flowing back of the profitability, we can generate employment, sustain them, and also create more employment.
Turning the company around was one thing, but then Raj made a remarkable discovery. Rwanda is ideally suited for the production of high-quality silk.
Its uniqueness of Rwanda is its climatic conditions and soil conditions, which are very much suitable for mulberry cultivation. And you know, it resembles southern India, where 80% of mulberry silk produced in India coming from southern India. Since we came from southern India, we realized the similarity of Rwanda to the place where we came from. And there we have already experimented with high growth of mulberry and good production of silk, rearing silkworms and production of silk. We wanted to simulate here, and we found it successful.
This discovery led to Utexra plowing some $5 million into commercial silk fabric production. With the traditional textile market looking unprofitable in the long run as competition from China and India increases, Utexra is looking at opportunities in banana and pineapple manufacturing as well as mosquito net production.
We wanted to do these projects like silk, banana fibers, pineapple fibers and mosquito nets, mainly to create employment in this country. At the same time, when you focus certain products which are going to help the humanity, like malaria, prevention of malaria, that is another philosophical route of choosing the product line. But the major thing is we analyzed and found that in sub-Saharan Africa the demand is 300 million nets per annum, whereas the supply is the capacity to produce the nets. The global capacity is less than 100 million and African capacity is less than 30 million. So we found a big gap between demand and supply, and that gave us an idea that it will be an avenue to have a viable industry.
Rwanda is not letting its past dictate its future, but is not forgetting it either. Many say the country's success is due to its sound leadership.
The biggest problem in Africa isn't lack of resources, it's not having the right kind of leadership, and I think that's what's making the difference here. You look at what's happened in the last 15 years, it's just absolutely incredible.
Through good leadership, progressive reforms and policies, Rwanda hopes to skyrocket up the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business Index.
We have set ourselves a target of what we call the 2-digit ranking for 2010 edition of Doing Business, and for that we have put in place a roadmap which includes mainly a number of reforms in the legal and regulatory framework. We have a number of laws passed by Parliament, including the Companies Act, the law on insolvency, the law on secured transactions, streamlining business registration, and other procedures in land access, in trading across borders, and all across the 10 indicators of the doing business.